Hey guys, this is going to be a quick review of Real Housewives of New York. I did a review last week, Real Housewives of New York. Did I? No, I don't think I did. To be honest, I don't know. I just have not been as motivated lately, but I'm going to try to get back into it. I don't know. Well, it just seems like this week's episode has been a continuation of last week's episode and their little Black Shabbat dinner. And it just was a disaster. It was a complete and utter disaster. Ramona is absolutely terrible. She is. She is. I just... I really don't understand. I don't know if she's that stupid, she's that arrogant, she's that racist. I guess it's all of the above, really and truly, because even at the end of the day, right? Like, if you are, say, secretly racist, then you don't agree with what's going on, right? You think it's a load of baloney, right? When the pregnant woman was telling her story, the pregnant black woman, she was telling her story of like how she almost died, right? And Ramona has the nerves to interrupt her story. At the very least, even if you don't agree with what she's saying and you're an undercover racist, at least shut the hell up and let the lady finish her story. Like, she couldn't even get a sentence in before Ramona starts interrupting her and telling her story. Oh, well, I was in pain and there was this nurse. She was black and she didn't want to give me any pain medication. It's like, Ramona, this person almost died. Her and her baby almost died, right? Can you just shut up and let her tell her story? Like, the whole dinner, you have been running your damn mouth. Shut the hell up and let this person tell their story. It doesn't matter whether you agree with what they're saying or you don't agree with what they're saying. Have a little bit of empathy. She couldn't even do that. She was just interrupting. And I'm gonna call out Ebony. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call her out. And this is why Ebony just rubs me the wrong way. It just feels like when it comes to Ebony and herself, right? And putting herself on the soapbox or putting herself on the platform or whatever the hell, she gets in her feelings, right? When she wants to speak on black issues, I feel like to make herself look good, then she's truly invested in it. But when it comes to standing up for other people, like when you see other people are being disrespected and being disregarded, you sit there and you don't say a word. A matter of fact, she had the nerve later on in this episode to say to Ramona, "Oh my gosh, me and you, we're so similar." How? How are you and Ramona? I mean, maybe you guys are. At this point, maybe you guys are very similar. I don't really see it. For you to be such a champion for being against racism and all that jazz, you are sitting in front of someone who is being racist, who is blatantly being racist, being disrespectful. You invite her to this dinner and she's being disrespectful to your black friends who you say, "Oh my gosh, we made such a connection because we went to Jerusalem together," and blah blah blah. And on top of that, this poor lady is sitting here and she is pregnant and she is speaking about how she almost lost her child. And she can't even finish her sentence without Ramona interrupting her. And you just don't say anything. And you think it's cute. And you think it's charming. Right? Ramona leaves the scene. When she doesn't want to talk about an issue, she rushes out and leaves the scene. Eventually, she's like, "Oh, I gotta leave, man. I'm tired." And da 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 da. She just goes on and on and on. Right, baby? But before she goes, she has to come back to the table And she still wants to talk. She wants to say, oh well, what I've learned is that I don't have a filter. And Ebony, instead of her telling her to shut the hell up because you spoke enough this evening, you give her the floor to speak some bull crap even more about how she learned about how she doesn't have a filter and she needs to have more of a filter. Right? But then when it goes to the next day and Luann is telling her how much of an asshole she's been, she's defending it. Well, I was hungry. Oh, well, I was drunk. Oh, well, that's just how like, instead of being embarrassed, instead of being like, you know what? Oh my gosh, I was such a jerk. You're totally right. She shows no remorse. Absolutely none. None. And and for Ebony to kind of be there and sort of think it's cute and to laugh at her and not to speak up or say anything, right? Like, Ebony is just, she comes off to me as one of those people that want to be preachy, right? Want to come off like they're a certain way. But when it comes down to it, right? When you're in real life situations and you need somebody to speak up and to say something, she has nothing to say. She's completely quiet. And she has the nerves to go and be best friends with Ramona and kiss her butt. Like, if I was Ebony's friend that she invited to that party, I would, I don't know. I don't think I could be Ebony's friend, or at least I would look at her sideways, right? Because you invited me, right? You created this situation. And then when you see I'm under attack, or when you see I'm being disrespected, right? The three black people there, the whole dinner, they sat down there and they did not say an absolute word. They just said absolutely nothing at all. And finally, when one of them goes to open their mouth, they can't even finish their sentence. Like, if Ebony was my friend, I would feel some sort of way. And then the next scene we have her saying, oh, me and you, Ramona, we're so similar. Like, Ebony is so fake to me. She's completely fake. I'm not buying what she's selling. I'm absolutely not at this point. I'm so disappointing. The fact that she excluded Brashawn, that she didn't want to invite her. And other people made a great point about how Leia couldn't make it. So why didn't she invite Brashawn at that point? Like, oh, well, Leia isn't able to come, so Brashawn, can you make, like, the fact that you're excluding Brashawn and you have Ramona there. And Ramona did exactly what I expected her to do, but 10 times worse. And the fact that you don't even call her out on that, you think it's cute and funny for her to act in such a crazy disrespectful way, is absolutely disgusting to me. I'm sorry, it is. Even Sonia was acting absolutely wacko, right? But when she cussed Ramona off, I was here for it. And okay, fine. Yes, Sonia was a little, glug, 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 glug. Okay? But I wish that Ebony was like, you know what, Sonia, you're right. Ramona, you better pay attention. Or even Luann was like, yeah, Sonia, you tell her. Like, I wish that they backed her up a little bit instead of just being like, oh, well, she's really upset. I don't know what's wrong with her. She kind of acting like Sonia's crazy, even though she is a little bit crazy. But she was right about Ramona. But it doesn't hit when it's coming from Sonia and nobody else backs her up, right? Because then Ramona can just say, oh, it's because she's drunk. And she wants to focus on Sonia about, oh, I'm so concerned about Sonia. She's losing her mind and da-da-da-da. But what about you? I mean, you've acted worse than Sonia. At the very least, both of you are on par. Actually, no, you are not on par. Ramona was a lot worse. But you can focus on Sonia's behavior and you can see how messed up she was acting, but you can't look at yourself and see how messed up you were acting during this scene. And the fact that you just can't shut up. You can't. Like, I don't know, like she's just so terrified for people to talk about racism. And I mean, if you're that scared, it's telling me that you are racist, which I'm not surprised. It's not shocking, but the way you're acting is ridiculous. Cuz I'm not sitting here acting like Luann maybe isn't racist or Sonia isn't a bit racist herself, right? But at the very least, they know when to shut up and they know when to listen. And they're at least open to what other people have to say, or they could at least pretend. But Ramona, she can't handle it. It just seems like you bring up racism, you bring up discrimination, and it's like she's about to explode. She cannot handle it at all. So what does that tell you? I mean, fill in the blanks at that point. It was just a disaster. And Sonia, to pee in someone's driveway, that's absolutely disgusting. I live, I personally live downtown, and it is the summer and it is super hot, and you do have people pissing everywhere. And let me tell you, the smell is absolutely disgusting. Okay? It is gross. So maybe that's why I'm having this reaction to it. That, I mean, I guess guess it's around Christmas or the fall. So I guess when it's a little colder, the smell of urine isn't so strong. But that's just absolutely disgusting to pee on pavement. You don't even go to the grass. You don't even go around the corner. You don't even have just a little bit of shame. I know peeing is natural. Everybody pees. But you're right by a house. You don't even go inside and be like, oh shoot, I need to pee real quick. Her excuse is, well, Luann was ready to go, and if I didn't get in there right away, Luann would have drove off. First of all, you guys are in a party van, okay? Luann is not going to tell the party van to just go and leave you, okay? And I think Luann would rather you pee inside that house than for you to pee on that person's driveway. That is just so disrespectful to me and absolutely disgusting and unnecessary. It just doesn't make sense. Like, the person's house is right there, right? You were just inside their home. There should be absolutely no reason why you need to pee in their driveway. You just left their home. You didn't know you needed to go, and that just shows how wasted you were or on something else. And then if you're getting to that point, you absolutely have a problem. You do. And I feel like the show, past seasons, I think part of their success has been them getting wasted. I'm not gonna lie. And at this point, I think it's getting old and it's getting toxic and it's getting problematic, because you look at Dorinda. Dorinda was an absolute fan favorite, right? And I did like Dorinda until I started to watch. Did she come in season 7? I think I started to watch season 7 when she arrived, and Dorinda was always a little off, but she just got to a point where it's just too much. And I feel like Sonia is getting to that point. As much as I maybe somewhat like Sonia and find her entertaining, it's very obvious she has a problem. Same with Ramona. As much as I do find Ramona entertaining because she's wackadoodle, you don't know what she's going to do, it's just really getting to this point of like, no, these people have serious issues, and they've spent too long in this bubble. They spent too long with this fame, and I think there has to be certain consequences, right? And this is not like the first season or their second season. They've been doing this for 10 plus seasons. They've had their time, and I think it's maybe time for them to, bye-bye. Sonia, I think Sonia could hang around, but I just don't. You don't want to see it, just like Dorinda. If this show, because this show definitely encourages the ladies to drink and do other things. Like, I can imagine it's a lot of pressure to be on reality television. And I don't know, like, just with Dorinda, if this is not a healthy environment for them, I'd rather them not be here. Like, if they can't handle it, because Sonia seems like when she's not on this show, she's off in the desert, she's detoxing, she's in a better place. Maybe this situation is not healthy for her, right? That's how I feel with Sonia. And even with when Ebony yet again doesn't want to kind of hold her feet to the fire and be like, yo, that was straight up wrong what you did. She's kind of tiptoeing around and trying to be delicate. And that's why I sort of miss Leia in this scene, to be honest with you. Even though Leia could be absolutely obnoxious, I feel like at least Leia would call the both of them out and cuss them out and say, yo, you're dead ass wrong for what you did. And I feel like that's what we're missing. I think Ebony, I don't know, maybe she doesn't want to, she came off a little bit too strong. At the beginning of the season, she's trying to come off like, oh guys, I'm not that tough, I can be your friend, I can kiki with you. But if someone's wrong, someone's wrong. Like, if Leia can go off and cause a scene, I think Ebony can go off herself, especially when they're deserving of it. Because Sonia was she didn't want to take accountability for peeing in someone's driveway and for her behavior. She just wanted to make it as a joke. Her peeing in a cornfield, sorry, that was gross. Because I guess she's peeing into the soil, so but that's still gross. People eat from that. Like, if you told me, oh, someone peed on this and you offer me this corn, that's not exactly appetizing to me. I don't know. I know people get drunk and, when you get drunk, you need to pee. I get that. But, like, I don't know. Like, you should be able to handle yourself a little bit better, especially if you're a grown woman. And if it does happen, I don't know, show a little bit of shame. Be a bit apologetic about it. Don't act like it's some big old joke. What happened to this episode? Yes, Luann. They also had a dinner because Luann, I guess she works with this charity where she deals with women that were inmates, and they were kind of telling their stories, and Ramona was invited, and yet again, Ramona can't shut the hell up. She has to interrupt every 5 seconds and try to inject herself and tell some sort of personal story. She has to make every scene about herself, and she's just absolutely obnoxious at this point, and I'm absolutely over her. I'm over her. Moving on. Ebony, she found her father. That's great. I don't know, like, are we gonna get her scene with her visiting her father, and how is that gonna go? I'm actually curious as to what the story was, as to why he wasn't in her life, and the story with her mother, so that will be interesting to see. Leia and her daughter, sending her to a private school that costs, what, $60,000? To me, that's absolutely ridiculous. My university didn't even cost $60,000. That's $60,000 to go to high school? That's absolutely crazy to me. Really, is public schools that bad in New York where you have to send your kids to a $60,000 private school? Whatever, it's not my money. Anyways, that's all I really gotta say about this episode. So, see you guys. Bye.